Hello everyone and welcome to Southeast Mk2 Golfs. Today we are carrying out the repairs for our MOT failure that happened yesterday.
After nearly a year's work, our Mk2 Golf R32 failed its MOT. The flexi brake line had been rubbing on the drive shaft and split as a result.
I'm gutted.
But a garage I'd also used damaged the sill by incorrectly jacking up the car.
They have caved that right in.
I needed help, fast.
I hear the burble of a flat 4. What could it be? Yes. Here comes my saviour. Look at all the stuff that Ben has bought. Grinders, brushy thingies, MIG welder, a gas bottle, everything you could think of, just squeezed into the back of a poor Forester.
As we're going to be undertaking welding, safety first. The interior sill trim piece is removed, giving access to the carpets to be able to lift. This is to reduce the risk of fire, and we also have a bottle of water just standing by in case.
Where should we jack it up from, Ben? What do you think? The jacking point, because that's where garages say it's the best place to do so, and that's where they'll always do it. No, what we'll do is we'll do it on the front engine mount, where it's actually supposed to be done. Up we go. Oh look, it's not caving in. So bitter and twisted.
Well, bitter and twisted is your jacking point cup thing, which is not a jacking point.
We support the car on the edges of the subframe where it is safe to do so. Then leave the jack just resting on the front engine mount.
Time for blast off. You watch, you're going to end up with bits in my face. And on my leg as well.
After getting chunks of bodywork into my face and into my leg, it was time for breakfast. Once fully refueled, we set back to work.
Lying on the floor now after having a full cooked breakfast. Try not to go to sleep then.
Oh, it's more the bacon repeating inside this mask.
So that's now all ground back. What we're going to do is we're going to cut around the clean edge here, and then we'll make up a new piece of metal using maybe 2 or 3 bits, and probably do away with the actual cup itself because it isn't actually necessary. As we've said, it is purely for when the car is going around the factory when it's being built.
No, you're having the cup as well.
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've just been informed that we are going to keep this this cup, and we're going to recover it by drilling out these spot welds. There were 6, 3 on either side, and we're going to make it good and fit it onto our new piece of metal, which is going to go here instead.
We mark out the area with pen to cut out with an angle grinder. With the cup removed, we clean inside the void to remove as much factory applied wax as possible, as this would just melt when it comes time to welding.
So cleaned up that, and as you can see, fortunately that hasn't pushed through onto the floor pan of the actual cabin of the car, near the main sort of structured area. So yeah, this is why you don't jack your car on these cups, because it is effectively like jacking your car on the floor pan or on your roof or on your exhaust or something stupid like that. Hot stuff coming through. Let's put it in the bin. Get in there, real deep, boy. So now we're going to use some cardboard aided design from our cereal box. Yeah, I am so tight I don't even use the branded stuff. There you go. But that's our cardboard aided design. CAD. Still,
Make, yeah.
still makes me laugh, that does.
Make it a little bit bigger and trim it when it goes in.
Yep. Now ready to get a piece of metal and cut to shape.
And your cup can go in.
Yeah.
Would it be the right size? This is a piece of steel just lying in my garage. I think that'll work.
Made
It's
to
even
fit.
got a similar curve there, like a little bit there.
That's amazing.
Handy.
It's like it was made for it. So this is the first repair piece that Ben has made so far, and that goes not that way, and if you look, that locates in there rather nicely. So we'll weld up these little corners first, and then the rest can sort of just be manipulated into shape, and then we'll probably just put an extra little bit on the back there because there's a gap there. That, I'm very impressed.
Disconnect your battery before welding to prevent firing your ECU.
So to establish where the cup goes, I've taken a trace of the other side using cardboard data design, and I've drawn the edges there. So there's where the cup goes, that is the edge of the sill, and that is the leading edge. And because it's on card, flip it over and it's the same. So now we have, this will be positioned like that. That'll be the outer edge of the sill, that'll be the leading edge. So what I'm going to do, just going to line that up and then draw around it.
The perfectly cut plate is now welded into place with the welds now ground off. Just a small area remains on the leading edge which needs the plate cut and welded in.
Now, because I do occasionally still have to use a garage for this car, for example tyre changes or wheel alignment, or even when we had the issue with the brakes where I couldn't get the pressure in the pedal, we've decided to not actually fit this cup here, because what happens is it sits on the sill. A garage might automatically assume that it is a jacking point. They'll stick a trolley jack on it or a two-poster on it, and then we're back to square one again because it will just push back in again. So we've decided we're going to leave it off. This bit under here looks great as it is, and I think it just reduces that temptation to jack at that point, and then we'll then jack in the correct place. So the timeline, the car went in for its MOT at 8 o'clock. It failed its MOT at 9 o'clock. I contacted Hell Performance at 11 o'clock in the morning. They, in somewhere in that timeline, made this part and then delivered it today at 9:30 in the morning on a Saturday, and it is here next day. I can't believe it. What service. Thank you so much, Hell Performance. Can't wait to fit it and bleed the system, which I'm not looking forward to. It's time for the epoxy mastic. We've got 1 part epoxy, 1 part hardener. Put them in a pot, 50-50 ratio. Give it a good mix. Leave it 10 minutes or so, and then we'll brush it on. Now, you saw where the area was damaged. That has now been cut out, and a shaped piece of metal has been put in there and welded up. Thank you very much, Ben, for helping with that. We have decided not to put the cup underneath as well, because that just avoids temptation to jack that area if I do have to take the car back to a garage for any work in the future. But it's now been all epoxy masticed up. I'm just going to put some brush sealer on, and now that part is ready for MOT. All I've got to do is fit the new brake line, bleed the system, fit a wiper stalk, and we are good to go.
After many brave pills, I let my son loose with a paintbrush to apply the seam sealer. I dabbed the sealer with a brush to give it that OEM finish. Even though the seam sealer remains malleable for its entire life, you can paint over it, to which I went for satin black. Next step, replace the brake line and bleed the brakes.
What are you doing with your Sunday nights?
Bleeding brake nipples.
But this is the first time I've sat in G in the driver's seat, which is my daily for 3 years.
It's not really a daily anymore, is it?
No.
Oh, the magic has come. Up. Down.
Oh, it's stiff.
Now that's it, the brakes have been bled. I've checked all the lights. I'd actually connected the side light with the wrong connector, so I think what it would have been the fog lights had it been the twin lamp grille set up, because they've already got the loom in place. Yeah, I'd connected the wrong one, which isn't my finest hour, but never mind. Stop! Yep. But yeah, all the other lights work. We've just done a test of them. Just got to put the wheel back on, lower the car down, wait for the wiper stalk, and then we are ready for MOT. The last thing I needed to be able to obtain an MOT was a new wiper stalk, as the one in the car actually went up in smoke during the MOT. So I ordered a new part, but that didn't look like it was going to get here until after I actually needed it. So I contacted Brendan from Dubstock, and once again he came to the rescue. That's twice he's done that now. Last time with the wishbones for Ben when his car got damaged on track, and this time a new wiper stalk. Thank you.
So you don't scare yourself silly by accidentally bibbing the horn, disconnect the battery. Once the horn is disconnected, undo the nut using a 24mm socket. Once the 24mm nut has been removed, a sharp pull on the steering wheel will remove it. Remove the 2 screws under the steering column to free up the trim.
That's it all connected back up. See? Bugger. I wonder if I've blown a fuse as well. Let's have a look. So after doing all that and testing the wipers, and they didn't work. And I've just checked the fuse. Number 5. That is blown. Let's replace it with another 15 amp. New 15 amp fuse. Yeah, this is so awkward with my big club hands and my sausage fingers. Now let's try. Please. Yes! Oh yeah. And go up. Woo! Monsoon mode. And there we go. Now we've got the car back at the garage for its MOT retest after having done all that work on the sills where we've welded in that new plate, and we've also replaced that brake line, bled the system, replaced that wiper stalk so the wipers now work, and we've got the side light working as well after I'd incorrectly connected spotlights into where the side light was. Let's see how we go. Now I can't see that it should fail on anything, however they weren't able to actually test the brakes because the brakes failed during that test last time, so that could be its crunch point. But let's see what happens. I'm a bit nervous, but quietly confident at the same time. So the car's just had its MOT. I'm just going to get back in now. Oh, I don't know what to say really, but it passed. Oh, I'm so relieved. I'm so relieved. I was a little bit nervous about that actually, in fairness, but yeah, all good, all good. I really wanted that to pass because we've got something so special lined up this weekend and I wanted this car to be part of it. It's going to be a big one on the next video, so please remember to tune in.
Remember to subscribe and like, and share the videos where you can. Thank you so much for watching. Tune in next time to see this really, it's going to be great. A great video. See you next time in Southeast Martin Golfs.